All right, let's get right into it. Welcome to This Explainer, where today we're going to unpack something incredibly fast, incredibly chaotic, and honestly, just absolutely thrilling. We are diving straight into the raw, frantic race dynamics of a blink and you miss it 100-meter sprint. You know, in the world of sprinting, a race isn't just a physical event. It's this rapidly unfolding story of dominance, challenge, and pure endurance, all packed into roughly 10 seconds. So today, we're going to slow time down. We're going to take the raw, unfiltered broadcast commentary from a truly spectacular race and use it to analyze exactly how the momentum shifts from the very second the starting gun fires all the way to the finish line. To really wrap your head around the energy of this race, you've got to hear the call exactly as it happened. Try reading this with me, straight off the screen, without taking a single breath. Ready? Set Dantis gets the best start as expected. Farrell is right there with him. Dantis has not given this up. The Vaich tried to chase him down, but Dantis continues to go away. Duplantis gets it, 10:37. That is quick and got. Wow. I mean, that run-on, slightly garbled transcript drops us right into the absolute chaos of the commentary. It is unfiltered adrenaline. The commentator is literally trying to sprint with their words just to keep pace with the athletes. And in doing so, they give us this perfect real-time map of the race's emotional arc. Okay, so let's break this down chronologically, starting with Section 1, the expected fast start. Now, if you follow sprinting at all, you know that the first few seconds basically dictate the entire geometry of the race. Just look at the phrase, gets the best start as expected. To get that kind of explosive action straight out of the blocks, a sprinter relies on pure, unadulterated power. We're talking low drive angles and super aggressive block clearance. The commentary immediately establishes the baseline here. It tells us that De Carmotis, which by the way is just how the breathless autotranscriber caught the runner's name in the heat of the moment, delivering this explosive technique and taking the early lead was absolutely no surprise. The narrative is set instantly, right? We have a heavy favorite doing exactly what a heavy favorite is supposed to do, dominating right from the gun. But as we all know, a race wouldn't be much of a race without a challenger. That dominant start is immediately met with the tension of competition. On one side, Vitos delivers that expected dominance, but then the commentator notes that Farol is right there with him. And just like that, the idea of an easy victory lap is completely shattered. Even with the best possible start, our leader has a shadow. An opponent is matching that fierce early pace, which instantly transforms the event from a solo exhibition into this incredibly high-stakes duel. Moving right along to the middle of the race, Section 2, the chase down attempt. This is where the whole dynamic drastically shifts. We go from that mechanical burst of the start into a completely desperate pursuit. And it's actually amazing because we can map the literal phases of this roughly 10-second sprint right onto the commentator's words. From second 0 to 3, we have the drive phase, gets the best start. Then from seconds 3 to 7, we hit the maximum velocity phase, where they tried to chase him down. And finally, seconds 7 to 10, we enter the speed endurance phase, where the leader continues to go away. The broadcaster's phrasing perfectly mirrors the actual physiological stages of a world-class sprint. Within that middle chase phase, there is this specific phrasing that really jumps out. Dridis has not given this up. Notice how much suspense that builds? It totally implies a struggle. It tells us that the leader isn't just coasting on his great start. He is fiercely, actively defending his early advantage against the chase from the pack. The pressure is on, the pursuers are closing in, and the leader is basically being forced into a position of absolute defiance just to hold them off. Which brings us to the final stretch, Section 3, the decisive 10.37 finish. We have finally reached the ultimate crucible of the sprint. This is where the pursuit fails, and the victor breaks away completely. Listen to this narrative climax. Continues to go away. Now here's a fascinating secret about the science of sprinting. No one is actually accelerating at the very end of a 100-meter dash. They are simply the athlete who is slowing down the least. The technique here is all about speed endurance. It's about maintaining an upright posture and staying completely relaxed while your pursuers tighten up and panic. Because Dantis, actually, scratch that, the transcript finally caught up, and we now know it's Duplantis. Because Duplantis holds his form so well, he actually appears to be extending his lead in those final exhausting moments. He is pulling away when, biologically, his body should be shutting down. And boom, Duplantis gets it. This incredibly simple, definitive phrase resolves all the tension we've been tracking over the last few seconds. The expected start, the fierce chase, the absolute defiance to hold form, it all culminates right here, in this 3-word declaration. The commentator officially calls the victory, and the wild chaos of the race snaps into a moment of absolute certainty. And then we get the official time, 10:37.
I just want to pause for a second to let the sheer raw speed of a 10.37-second race truly sink in. Look at that number. In the time it took me to just read the sentence, the entire race started, played out its intense psychological drama, and completely finished. It is just a stunning display of human capability, all condensed into a microscopic window of time. I absolutely love how the broadcast ends with this fragmented little gem. That is quick congrat. The commentator is so swept up in the adrenaline of that 10.37 finish that they can only offer this breathless, slightly chopped off reaction. I mean, they literally don't even have the breath left to finish the word congratulations. This completely authentic fractured text completely validates just how insane this race was. The speed of the athletes literally outpaced the broadcaster's ability to form complete words. So, that leaves us with one final thought. We saw the dominant start, we analyzed the desperate chase, and we witnessed the ultimate breakaway. But if a staggering 10.37 seconds is described by our breathless commentators simply as quick, just how fast would someone have to run to actually chase Duplantis down? It really makes you wonder about the absolute limits of human speed and who out there might be training right now to close that gap. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning just how fast we can really go.